Hello, I'm Bill Bryson, Chairman of the Fantasy and Lights Parade. This is our 36th annual parade, and I'd like to thank all of the sponsors, in particular our main sponsor, Main Street Bank. There are a number of changes in this year's parade, starting with this video. In years past, we ask each entry to make sure they have one person attend a meeting, and sometimes that was a little bit of a challenge, driving an hour or so to get to the meeting and so on. So this year we're going to try it with this video. Hopefully we can save some time, but it's no less important to watch the video and make sure all the people that are involved in the parade from your entry understand all the rules and regulations. If you have any questions, please call the Chamber of Commerce at 304-233-2575. Again, thank you for participating in this year's Fantasy and Lights Parade. The last couple of years have been rather difficult, and we are trying to maintain the quality of this event, and we really appreciate the fact that you are participating with us. This year, the parade route will be different. It is a temporary change until we're able to complete the streetscape, which will be in another year or two. The downtown beautification project is going to be fabulous, but in the meantime, we're having to put up with some inconveniences. The start will be the same as in years past, 20th and Market Street. The parade will proceed up Market Street to 12th Street. We'll turn left on 12th Street. That's McClure is on one corner, Uniglobe is on the other corner. We'll turn left there. Go down 12th Street toward Main Street, that's toward the river, turn left on Main Street, and then follow Main Street down to where the parade ends at 22nd Street. This still allows for about a 1 mile parade. Please make sure all the people's parents, grandparents, everyone knows there's nothing going to be north of 12th Street. So the chairs that normally sit out there, please make sure the people know that there's no parade coming by the Market Plaza, 10th Street, and some of those other areas. The television cameras will be at Main Street Bank parking lot. We've addressed the gaps in the parade for years, and we think maybe putting the cameras at the end of the parade will eliminate the gaps. There's no reason to stop. There's no reason really to develop any gaps, and we think that this may make it a little bit smoother and a little bit safer. When we had gaps, we had problems with people pulling out of areas right into the parade, and we think this is going to be a better situation. If you are stopped on, let's say, 12th Street, feel free to play music, or if you're a dance group and you want to perform, that's great. In fact, it's even recommended. WTRF TV7 will be the only television station broadcasting the parade this year. They will be at the 20th and Main Street near the end of the parade in the Main Street Bank parking lot. So that would be on the right side of the parade as we proceed south. Bands might want to keep this in mind as you pass the cameras and try to make sure that your bands are performing at that time. The parade will, on TV, will run 90 minutes again. That would be 6:30 p.m. until 8 p.m. In the past, we have filled that 90 minutes with 100 entries. This year, we have about 75 entries. So with that extra time, the TV station will be stopping entrance and giving maybe bands, dance groups, a chance to perform. So we're asking bands to be prepared with about a minute of music that you can play if the cameras stop you in front of TV7. The parade, because we are cameras located at Main Street Bank, the parade will end at 22nd Street. You will pass the car wash on the right-hand side of the street, and then 22nd Street, please proceed to 22nd Street before you disband. And then once you disband, we want you to move away from the middle of the street. We can't afford to have backups that actually back into the camera view on 20th Street. So please, at 22nd Street, continue to march to 22nd Street, and then we can disband from there. There will be parade marshals there with signs trying to show everyone where the parade actually ends. Because we are going to use clear down to 22nd Street, that gives us a little bit less area for the buses to park. We've got about a dozen bands, so we think we have enough space between 22nd and 26th to park the buses when the bands arrive. The police will be there to try to direct the band buses into the parking spots. The buses will be facing south, and the best way to get out of town after the parade will be to continue south to 26th Street, and there you can access either Route 2, north or south, or I-470, east and west. Rented floats this year will be parked between 23rd and 24th Street on Market. That is south of the Market, and Famous Supply is on the corner. From that area south, we will use both sides of Market Street, 23rd to 24th, to park these are the rented floats from New Philadelphia. We figure we can get 15 floats about on that street, so they're not going to be in the lot as in years past. They will be on Market Street between 23rd and 24th. Just a reminder, when the meters will be bagged there, so there won't be any parking that day, and meters around the city will be bagged as well, but they will say, no parking, say, after 5 o'clock. In years past, the police department and city manager have gotten calls saying, well, we can't park here today. Yes, you can. It says on the bags after 5 p.m. It's basically free parking. So if that subject comes up with you or anybody you are in affiliation with along the parade route, it actually is free parking at the meters, but we do ask that you get those vehicles out of there by 5 o'clock or whatever time is marked on the bag. We're expecting about 75 entries this year, and we believe it'll take about an hour and 5 to 10 minutes to get those entries from the start at 20th Street and Market around to 22nd Street. The parade, again, will be broadcast starting at 6:30. And now, since the TV cameras are at the end of the parade starts at 6:30, takes 20 minutes to get around there. We're going to have to start the parade at about 6:10. Again, I know that some of the bands band buses have to take kids home from school first before they're able to take the bands to parades. So if that's a problem and we have you too far up in the parade, let us know. We can change that. Put you a little further back, or put you on 20th Street and feed you in if we have to do that. We're going to ask that you be in place. Again, we're going to start at 6:10. So if you're in those first 40 numbers, we're going to ask you to be in place no later than 5:45. That only gives us 25 minutes before we have to start. And then if you're in the last 35, we'd ask you to be there and ready to go by 6:10. And again, once things start moving in that staging area, it's very difficult to move things in and out. Rain dates, well, as in the years past, there is no rain date. We've been very fortunate in years past. We've had some inclement weather, but the parade has never been canceled. But there is no rain date. There are too many other parades in the area, and it would overlap, so there is no rain date. Grand Marshals this year are City Manager Bob Herron and Race Director Ronnie Green. Both have made substantial contributions to the city, and we're very proud to have them as our Grand Marshals. Safety, always a concern. We have gasoline generators, moving vehicles, lots of distractions, so please follow these safety rules. For drivers of vehicles, the same rules apply for the parade as they would on the streets of Wheeling. Please emphasize to the driver that you want to keep distractions to a minimum, and the safety for those vehicles would be the same as if you were driving on the highway. Make sure the driver is a responsible person. The parade, at best, is stop and go. People often run out in front of vehicles crossing the street, so the drivers are critical for a safe parade. There's no throwing candy from the vehicles. All that does is invite people to go out into the street, especially children, and we have seen in years past even children reaching under moving vehicles. When we caught that on camera, that pretty much convinced everyone that it was not a really good idea. The other thing is with equestrian units. Kids running out in front of horses is not a good idea. So again, please, no throwing candy from the street. All parade floats must have a fire extinguisher. You can have it on the float, you can have it in the pulling vehicle. We've only had a couple of small fires in years past, but if you have a fire extinguisher on board, that will make things a lot safer. There will be a mechanic in the staging area. We will keep him at the St. Al's area. All you need to do is find one of the marshals. If you need the mechanic, the marshals will get a hold of the mechanic at St. Al's, and we'll get the mechanic to you as fast as we can. Check your generators, make sure they're working, but you don't want to leave them run for half an hour or so and eat up all the gasoline before the parade even starts. For the dance units, tumbling is not permitted. Road conditions, oil, horses, conditions of the streets don't make for a safe environment, so that is not allowed. Make sure any riders in vehicles, floats, etc. are secure. The roads are bumpy and there's a lot of start and stop happening around the route, so please make sure the riders are secure and we don't bump anybody off of a moving float. People accompanying your group. Your entry is judged by the public, and in your best interest, you want everybody in your unit to look good. So if your band is red, a lot of the bands have parents walking alongside. You might want to make sure that they are also maybe dressed accordingly. So again, people are judging your unit based on the entire unit, not just the band, the dance group, etc. We have a few costume characters in the parade. And although they will be assigned a number, it's not necessary for them to end where they start. So if you are a vehicle and the costume characters are in front of you, you are not waiting for them to advance. If they want to stop and engage the crowd, that's fine. You just go right past them and you're really following the vehicle, the band, whatever in front of you, not the characters. We've created gaps in the past simply by drivers waiting for the characters to free themselves and start walking again. Don't need to do that. Don't worry about the characters. It doesn't matter as long as they finish before Santa. We're fine. After 5 p.m., there will be no vehicles allowed in the staging area. I know a lot of folks are dropping off, band members, etc. You can drop off at 20th Street. You can drop off on 22nd. You can get into 22nd Street and drive along I guess it would be the west side of the market, and drop off there and then exit again on 23rd. We will have marshals stationed at the perimeter to keep vehicles from coming into the parade staging area after 5 p.m. And again, if you're moving a float, you want to make sure that float gets moved probably no later than 5 p.m. If you can get it up in your spot by 3:34, 4:30, that's going to be a lot better than trying to move it at 5:30 when the streets are packed. Your entry number will be painted on the street, and usually what we do, if it's 20 feet for your entry, the number would be about 10 feet from the front, 10 feet from the back. So it's in the middle of the unit, and they will be spray painted on the street. We hope to do that on Monday or Tuesday of the week of the parade. And again, if you're in the first 40 units, we're asking you to be in position no later than 5:45. We've kind of shortened that a little bit to give everybody some extra time, but that only gives us 25 minutes to make sure we have everybody in the right order and ready to go. If you're in the last 35 entries, we ask you to be in place by 6:10. And again, if something goes wrong, you can still contact us and we can get you into the parade. If you've missed your number because of a traffic or some other incident, we can bring you in 20th Street and work you into the parade. So don't feel like I missed my number, I'm not going to be in the parade. We will still get you in the parade. Porta-Johns, got a lot of people in that area on that Friday night, and we have 2 Porta-John locations. One will be at the Main Street Bank area, about 20th and Main, and the other, there are 2 there, and there will be 2 down around 23rd Street. And again, as the buses park on Main, that'll give an opportunity if we need to use the Porta-Johns. As the band members get into place, we'll be able to use there. So 2 at 23rd Street, to up around 20th Street over on Main. Any other questions, give the chamber a call. Again, that number is 304-233-2575. Thank you, and we hope to have a great weather and another great parade.